Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a great day. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the webinar on Zoho Cliq's platform components, schedulers, message cards, and connections. I'm Purvik, the developer platform evangelist for the Zoho Cliq team, and I'll be walking you through the entire session. We'll have a QA session at the end of the webinar, but you can also ask any doubts you have in the middle of the webinar using the questions tab on the left of your screen, which our expert Tyagaraj will answer promptly. A gentle reminder for all the attendees, if you want regular updates from Zoho Cliq, please follow our social media handles to stay updated on the latest features, webinars, and lots more. You can take a look at the slide for our social media handle details. If you haven't seen the webinar about the introduction to Cliq platform, then you can watch it on our YouTube channel. I just wanted to quickly remind you that this is a recorded session and we'll be sending you the recording post the webinar via a follow-up email. It'll also be posted on our YouTube channel later. So if you experience any difficulties in hearing my audio or if the video isn't loading, please mention it in the chat tab so we can resolve it. Now we'll see how you can use Cliq's platform components to improve your team's collaboration. Before we get started, let's have a brief introduction of the platform components that we're about to use today. Schedulers. Schedulers, as the name suggests, allow you to schedule tasks so that they are executed automatically on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. They improve your work efficiency by automating your repetitive mundane tasks. The message builder helps customize your messages using message cards. Since most communication is done through text, there is a possibility of miscommunication. Message Builder helps mitigate it by helping you add different components to your messages, such as images, tables, and lists, so that you can communicate in a more effective manner. Connections are one of the most important Cliq platform components. They are used to integrate third-party services with Zoho Cliq. Connections and Cliq support OAuth 2.0 for better security of your files and application data. Cliq also supports various default connections for frequently used services like Google and other Zoho services, while you can also connect to any other application that supports API connection in the Custom Services tab by creating your own custom connection. It also supports sharing of connections. They are used in a URL invocation task to access only authenticated data. Now let's get to the example. Consider you are a manager in charge of a team. There are quite a number of people in your team and you have to manage their workloads. You have to make sure that all your team members are working together and achieving their weekly set goals so that the team is working efficiently. Instead of having to check with the individual team members at the end of the week about their status, you can make your job easier by using the Cliq platform to automate your tasks. Let's say you and all your team members use Trello. For those of you who don't know what Trello is, it's an app that is used to organize plans, workflows, projects, and much more using simple boards, lists, and cards. Now let's actually try doing that. First go to cliq.zoho.com. Now click on your profile picture and go to bots and tools. First, let's create a connection. This will connect Cliq with Trello. Click on create connection. Now, since Trello is already supported as a default service, all you have to do is search for Trello. Click on Trello and enter your connection name. So we're going to name it as Weekly Trello. You can use whatever name you want. We're going to add the scopes read and account and click on create and connect. Now this will authenticate the service. So we have to click on connect. So click on connect. Now our connection is created. Let's create a scheduler. Click on create scheduler. Enter the name of your scheduler. Consider you are a manager in a marketing team. You have a couple of people under you who you assign tasks every week, and so we're gonna name our scheduler as weekly marketing tasks. And enter the description for the scheduler. The recurring period is going to be weekly and it's going to repeat every Friday at 4 p.m. Click on save and edit code. Now delete the default code. First, let's use the invoke URL task. Now if we go to the Trello workspace, let's open Scott's board. Here we can see all his tasks, weekly tasks. We'll first create a scheduler for Scott. So we're gonna store this in a new variable called Scott. For the URL, just open the tab and search for Trello REST API. Any search engine works. So click on the Trello REST API link. Now what we need, if we go back to the Trello workspace, what we need are the checklists on the card. So what we're going to do is go back to the REST API and search for get checklists on a card. Now if we're going to click on it, so if we scroll down, we can get the URL. We don't need the API key and token since we're using connections for authentication. We just paste it here. So to get the ID of the card, go back to the Trello workspace. In the URL, if you open the card, you'll get the ID of the card. So what we're going to do is store it in a new variable called Scott ID. So we'll paste it as a string and replace it dynamically in the URL. The request type is get, and we don't need parameters or headers. So we're going to use the connection that we created at the start. So to get the connection name, click on connections and my connection. So our connection name is weekly Trello, so we're going to use that. So we're going to enter the name weekly Trello, and we're going to use the info statement to find out the value that has been called. So click on save and execute. Now we can see in the debug info we have a JSON, so we're going to copy this. Since we cannot really understand what it is, we're going to beautify it. Copy the JSON and open a tab and just search for JSON beautifier, and open any JSON beautifier you want. I like to use this curious concept one, so we're going to open that and we're going to paste the JSON here and click on process. And if you scroll down, we got the JSON, beautified JSON. Here we can see that each one has a board with check items and checklists. So we're going to make two lists. The first list is going to be called tasks to be done, which is going to contain all the tasks that are yet to be completed by Scott. And the other one is going to be tasks done, which is going to contain all the tasks that are already completed by Scott at the end of the week. So we know that the JSON is a list, so we're going to use a for each loop to enter this list. So let's say for each boards in Scott, and if we go to the JSON, we can see that each board has check items that we require. So we're going to store these in a new variable called check items. So make sure the capitalization is correct. So we're going to copy I copy and paste it here. So we know that each check item is a list, so we're going to use another for each loop to enter these check items. So for each checklists in check items, we're going to enter the for each loop. So if we go back to the JSON, we know that in each check items there are two variables that we require, name and state. The name, which is going to contain the name of the state, name of the task that we require, and the state, which is going to contain the state of the task that if it's complete or incomplete. So we're going to store these two variables in new variables called name and state respectively. Now if we go back to the JSON, we can see that the state can have two values, incomplete or complete. So we're going to create an if statement, use an if statement to create a condition. So if state is equal to complete, we're going to add the name of the task to task done list. Else, if the state is incomplete, we're going to add the name of the task to task to be done list. So we're going to add the name of that task. Now Out of the for each loop, we're going to use the info statement to check whether the name of the tasks are actually added, like stored in these two lists correctly. So we're going to use these two info statements, and we're going to click on save and execute. Now we can see that these two are storing the task that we require correctly. So it's actually successful. Now instead of just printing these two in a chat, we're going to use the message builder to make it look better. So to open the message builder, go to click.zoho.com/message builder. Now in the message builder, I'm going to choose my theme as in modern inline because it's better, it looks better. So in components, we're going to add a list component, and the title of this list is going to be completed tasks. So we're gonna add an entry for one. It doesn't matter because we're gonna add it. We're gonna create another list, and this is going to be incomplete tasks. And we're going to get the message JSON. So we click on get message JSON, and we're gonna copy the message JSON. If we go back to the code editor, we're gonna create a new variable called Scott response, and we're going to paste the JSON here, and we're going to dynamically replace these two lists with the lists that we already have. So we're going to replace these two, the list element 0 with task done, and the list element 0, this one, to tasks to be done. So we'll also edit the text to weekly task status. So we're going to use the Zoho Cliq, the Zoho Cliq post to user function. This is used to post a chat directly to a user. Here you need to use the email address of the user that you want to send. The email address for Scott is scott.fisher@zilker.com. So I'm gonna enter that, and the text that I need to send is the JSON of Scott response. So we're gonna paste it here. I'm gonna click on save and execute. Now the scheduler has been executed manually by me. We did this just to check, so we're going to go to click.zoho.com. Now let's see if the scheduler has actually posted his weekly task status. Now go to Scott Fisher. You can see that I've sent a direct message. A scheduler has been sent from me, and this contains his weekly task status and his that are complete and incomplete. This scheduler will run at the end of every week at 4 p.m. and this will send a message to everyone in my team about the status of their tasks, their weekly tasks, what they've done and what they've not done yet. And this will also help me manage my team better. So this will automate the process, the grueling process of me having to check with my team one by one whatever they've done at the end of the week. And so it saves a lot of my precious time. So it saves a lot of your precious time. It saves a lot of your precious time, so you can focus on what really matters, on the more important things. So you can also create another scheduler that will remind you yourself about the tasks that are yet to be that are about your tasks that are yet to be done at the end of the week through a bot or another one or the default task bot. This is just a simple example scenario. With Cliq platform and its components, you can do so much more and automate so much of your workflows and lighten your workload.